What's up, guys? It's Jay, MorninAfterKill, and I'm back here on episode 8 of my Sunday Q&A. Now, this is a series on my channel where once a week we take a break from all the tips, tricks, guides, DLCs, loot drops, and poop stops. Wait, MAK! What the fuck is a poop stop? Well, it snowed last night at my house, and we ended up getting somewhere around 3 to 4 inches of snow, and overnight it hit temperatures somewhere around -7 to 8 degrees. And just about 15 minutes ago, after I woke up, I took a huge spicy chicken dump, which not only stank like a motherfucker, it also burnt my asshole a little bit on the way out. Like, literally felt like liquid hot lava just poured out of my butthole. So if it's not as bad enough that my asshole was a bit tender, but when I went to flush the fucking toilet, the handle went plink, 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 plink. Nah, god fucking damn it! I found out that the pipes to my man cave bathroom are frozen, so now I gotta sit here in my man cave with a fresh dump the size of Oklahoma sitting in my toilet, making spicy chicken lava poop soup about 5 to 10 feet from me. It smells like a motherfucker. There's nothing I can do. I did spray some Febreze. I lit a candle. Waiting for my girlfriend to get back with a Home Depot bucket so I can put a bunch of water in the bucket and I can flush the actual toilet, because if you actually pour in a bunch of water into a toilet without the pipes working, you can flush it yourself, because that's all a toilet is. It's just a bunch of water hitting in there and it just goes around and around and around. But goddamn it, poop stop. It's a new word. Save it. Bank it. It's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, how about we just get ourselves into some questions and answers, shall we? So, the first question comes from PJ Games, who wants to know, MAK, how do you cope with the worst times in your life? And this is actually a really hard question to answer, man, because, you know, some of the hardest times in my life, I got through by just putting my chin up and taking life square on the face, day in and day out. Ooh, MAK, you like taking it on the face, don't you? God damn it. Yeah, I never really had the type of friends where I could just call them up and be like, yo. So I got some heavy shit that I'm carrying around, and I need to unload my feelings. Let's talk about my feelings. You know, me and my friends, we never really truly shared any of the intimate details of our lives, because we all had our own problems growing up in the same area, and you know, it wasn't really gonna help to anybody by talking about shit, because we all know that mentioning our own problems is just gonna make everybody in the room think about their own goddamn fucking problems. So, you know, truly, I owe a large amount of the fact that I made it through some of the shittiest situations by smoking weed on a daily basis with all my friends. That was our therapy. We didn't really need to sit around and talk about our feelings and problems. You know, how does being poor make you feel? It makes me feel like I'm pretty fucking poor. Yeah, we were just doing the best that we could to pass the time that we had. And, you know, smoking weed all day long is probably one of the easiest ways to pass time. So, from the outside, you know, society is just looking at us like, oh, look at these bunch of hooligans in a basement playing NFL Blitz, getting high as fucking laughing for a few hours, right? When really, we were a bunch of kids growing up in a really poor area, trying to stay out of trouble as far away from our families as possible, while using video games and weed to pass the time, because we hated our situation in lives. We were trying to forget the fact that we were poor, and we grew up in an area where, you know, it's pretty dangerous outside. And we don't want to go outside and get ourselves in trouble, because just walking down the street, if the cops roll by, they just put the goddamn fucking spotlight on, whoop whoop, come on over and be like, hey, what are you guys doing? And like, we're walking down the street, officer. Run your pockets. Like, god damn it, again? So, you know, don't get me wrong, we were having an ass ton of fun getting blazed up and playing video games in a basement, but it was always a pretty good way to ignore the fact that life sucks for a bunch of hours. And, you know, I'm not telling you guys to go out and smoke weed, play video games, because I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys have already beat me to it. They probably already doing the same shit that we used to. But if it wasn't for having marijuana in my life personally, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it to where I am now, which is sad that after all these years, all the progress that we've made in America, including states like Colorado, who's legalized marijuana for recreational use and banked millions of dollars off the sale of recreational weed, we still demonize it as a Class 1 banned substance. I've seen weed work wonders for people over the years, and it's real close to being legal in all 50 states. But the fact that something that has as much medicinal qualities as marijuana to be illegal is a shame. But the fact that it can single-handedly revive our economy through the sale of recreational usage, hemp textile products, which if you don't know what that means, it means like clothes, rope, and also you can take hemp byproduct and turn it into biodiesel to fuel cars. It makes literally no sense that it's illegal these days. And I'm gonna be sitting here waiting patiently for that day of legalization to come, and I'm gonna celebrate the welcoming home of my old friend Mary Jane. I love you, girl. I got too much going for me in my life to risk it by getting high. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's move on to the second question here from Michael Kilduff, who asks, have you considered changing your name due to your family history? Yeah, I have. To those of you guys that are actually wondering what he's talking about, is I've had problems in my life because, my brother and my father have both, gotten in a lot of trouble in life. And I carry the same last name as them. So, going through school, I automatically had teachers that hated me because my brother was a fucking asshole, just like I am. And they're like, oh, look at this asshole. This asshole's coming through. They're going to talk to the other teachers and find out that I'm just as big of an asshole as my brother. And they're automatically going to, up you over there. I hate you before you're even in my class. And I'm like, God damn. And I've even had, cops pull me over and they're like, oh, is so-and-so your dad? And I'm like, God damn it. Yes, so-and-so is my dad. I haven't seen him since I was like fucking 2 years old. Are you gonna hold him against me too? Of course you are. Why? Because my dad probably punched you and your partner in the fucking face because he is legally fucking insane. So, yeah, I've thought about changing my name due to my family's history many times. The only thing that's really stopped me from doing it is all the legalities and the red tape that you have to go through to get your name changed. Because, having something like your first, middle, or maybe last name changed, just one name is really easy. I'll just take a few $100s and some clickety-clack and a reissue of documents. But when you change your entire name to something else, it's a ton of bullshit because you're basically erasing a person out of the system. And the government don't like it when you erase people. Only the government likes to erase people. I don't want to be erased. I didn't say that! But seriously, yeah, I used to say to my mom all the time, I was like, when I turn 18, I'm going to change my name, and you'll never be able to find me. Then my 18th birthday rolled around, and I did look into it, but it seemed like more trouble than it was worth to just avoid my mother and not talking to her at all. Then, a year later, I was standing there, and I had a kid of my own. And I was like, man, should I give him my last name? And I figured, since my son wasn't growing up in the city where I was born, he was actually growing up outside of there. I was like, you know what? I thought to myself, and I was like, maybe we could restart over this family bloodline. I'll give him my last name, and actually, me and him will try to, make something proud of our last name. But, if I ever hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, I told you guys this, and I'm actually 100% serious, that I'm legally changing my name to MorninAfterKill. First name Morning, middle name After, last name Kill, and I just tell people that my name is MAK. I mean, if Chad Johnson, the wide receiver for the Bengals, can legally change his name to Ocho Cinco, which was his number on his jersey, I could change mine to MAK, right? Now, do I ever think I'll hit 1 million subscribers? Probably not. But I'm damn sure gonna work my hardest to try. I mean, I'm already a quarter of the way there. Why not, right? Why not MAK? Why can't we hit 1 million subscribers? Let's do it. Let's try to hit that, guys. We can do this. 1 million subscribers, and I'll change my last fucking name. Well, actually, I'll change my entire name. MorninAfterKill. That will be my name, because I'll actually be proud of something that I built myself. And I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, fuck yeah, I want my name to be MorninAfterKill. Trademark. Copyright. So let's go ahead and move on to the next question from Abel Manson. And his question is, what do you think about your own voice? He says he thinks it's cool, but I may feel otherwise. God damn it. The voice question. This is something that a lot of people in the world get real twisted, is when it comes to voices, because we put a lot of emphasis on voices in society. Believe it or not, you might think that we don't, but let's look back at a joke that's been used in movies, TV, and general pop culture time and time again. Is the phone sex operator with the sexy voice actually being a fat, ugly woman in a trailer park on the other end with 4 fucking kids running around her and, you know, sitting in her own filth in a moo-moo, and she has that sexy voice. And, you know, that joke is funny because we, as a society, put so much emphasis on how somebody talks that we let it be one of our first forms of judgment when meeting someone. So let's take, for an example, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was world champion of boxing for many, many years. He will hit you hard. He will hit you like a brick fucking wall. Like, literally, I'm not talking about you hitting a brick wall. I'm talking about you standing there and a brick wall coming at 50 miles an hour and hitting you. That's Mike Tyson. But he also has one of the highest pitched voices you'll ever hear. And if you never heard of Mike Tyson in your life, and you didn't know who he was or what he sounded like, and you heard him talking to you over Xbox Live, you'd probably call him a little squeaker faggot and a pussy. And you might even talk shit about Mike Tyson fighting you. And that would be a big mistake. Because, yeah, society has imprinted the whole deep, dark, sexy voice means you're a huge, jacked motherfucker, and that is a lie. You even say it to yourself. By looking at my pics on Facebook, I don't match my own voice. And shit, a lot of people were surprised when another YouTuber named DPJ showed his face. And you found out that he was a jacked ass Englishman, but he has a higher pitched voice. But, you know, once again, somebody says that because somebody plays video games with a higher pitched voice, somebody like myself or DPJ, we're probably a 105-pound nerd that's never had pussy since pussy had him. When it's exactly the opposite. We're sexy motherfuckers that just happens to have a little bit of a different voice. But even though I hate my voice, the one thing I do love about it is that I have a way of speaking which makes me sound super uneducated and stupid to people when they first meet me. Because I really don't give a fuck about reaching into my extended vocabulary to pretend that I'm somebody that I'm not. Just a normal guy. I'm not gonna go ahead and fucking, you know, pull out big words and try to impress you. I don't give a fuck about impressing you. I'd rather just let people underestimate me like they have my whole life. I like being underestimated. It makes life easier when you're dealing with stupid people who think that they're smarter than you. They think they got the leg up on you, and then they try to get over on you with something obvious as fuck, and I see it coming from 90 miles away, and people show their real true colors real fast when they think they have the leg up on you. And I love it. So, let's go ahead and get into the last question of today from Keaton P. 1997, who says, MAK, how was high school for you? Did you want to go to college, or did something stop you? Ah, man. Oh, man. School, huh? Man, I know I shouldn't say this as an adult speaking to a lot of impressionable young people out there, but fuck school, man. You know, school accomplishes a few things. Number one, it teaches you how to listen to other people without questioning authority. And number two, it conditions you to get comfortable with having a daily routine that you don't like. Get up, get dressed, go to school, don't ask questions. It's the same as get up, get dressed, go to work, don't ask questions. And, you know, the fact that they teach you shit is all secondary to the fact that school is just there to keep your mind busy so you don't fall outside of the lines and try something different in society. And you want to know what the most hilarious thing about school is? And my teachers hated that I would point this out. Schools are taught by people who have learned everything in their field, but aren't good enough to actually do what they learned. Let's take English teachers, for example. Most likely, when they went to school, they didn't want to become a teacher. They wanted to be a writer. But then they realized that they're not good enough to write anything to be published. So they decided to teach. Science teachers. I don't see them curing cancer, do you? I'm pretty sure that when they did sign up for college, they had some big old ideal that they were going to be working in a lab trying to make a difference in this world. Gym teachers, they're the most pathetic of the entire bunch because you were the high school football captain, weren't you? Life didn't turn out the way you expected when you got that scholarship to go to college and you found out that everybody else on the team is just as good as you, right? Those that can't do, teach. It's a true fact of the world, and I couldn't stand it. And my teachers couldn't stand it that I was already smarter than them in high school than they were after 8 years of going to college. So, you know, school wasn't for me, man. I hated it. Which was pretty funny because I used to ace all those standardized tests and then I'd get those letters in the mail from colleges in 9th grade and they're like, oh, you're pre-selected for enrollment based off your test scores, and you go ahead and contact them and they start telling you how much potential you have, and then they try to drop the tuition bomb on you and you realize, you're like, man, no matter what I do, I'm too poor to go to college. My family can't afford it. Nobody in my family's ever gone to college. And I'm not going to get a 100% scholarship based off of pure academics. So what the fuck am I wasting my time in high school for? Which, at that point, you know, I didn't really give a fuck about school anymore. And I started fucking up, not going, getting suspended, and I ended up getting expelled when I did go. And I ended up getting kicked out of 3 high schools and... you know, having to go to night school and day school for a few months to make up some classes that I failed in the end. But I did end up with a diploma. Mostly because my school district just wanted to get fucking rid of me. So I ended up with a diploma after getting kicked out of 3 high schools, going to night school and day school just to get my grade point up average to where it was the lowest GPA possible that I could graduate, which was... .567. And now that I have my diploma, I can't legally go back to school, and the school district does not have to worry about me at all. It's just absolutely fucking lovely. It was a great experience for everybody, right? No, I hated my experience with school, but that is my experience with school. So don't let me fuck it up for you, though, because, you know, my circumstances are just me making the best out of a bad situation, which pretty much sums up most of my life growing up is me just making the best out of bad situations. So don't judge me. So my name is Jay, MorninAfterKill. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you could leave a thumbs up on the video, I'd highly appreciate it because it gives me motivation to make more videos for you motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. Make sure that you guys leave some questions in the comment section down below, and I will go through them and pick out a few questions for next week's Q&A. But remember that the better the question, the more of a chance that you have of me picking it up. And, you know, let me address this real quick. Those of you guys that are asking things like, what's your mother's maiden name? What was your childhood pet growing up? And shit like that. I'm not going to answer questions that are like, you know, general password cracking questions. I'm not that fucking stupid, guys. You don't need to know what my mother's maiden name was. You don't need to know what her married name was. You don't need to know what my last name is. All you need to know is my name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you guys later.
dancing.